Hello boys and girls. Today we are working on lesson 4.7 in the Go Math book, and the essential question says, how can you use properties to explain patterns on the multiplication table? So we're looking at patterns using properties. And if you look at this, as of right now, these are the multiples you should definitely know. You should know how to multiply by 0, 1, 2, 3, and you should be able to skip count by your 3's. You should be able to multiply by 10. This is something you should have learned probably in kindergarten, but if not in kindergarten, first grade. This little box or area is really where you have to learn your multiplication facts or have to be able to skip count. Most of you have been learning how to multiply or do multiples of 4, and you've done multiplication sheets where it practices multiplying by 4. So I wanted to go ahead and fill these in. If you know how to skip count by 4's, this would be easy. If you have not been listening to those videos, it might be a little bit more challenging. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. And so if you can do it this way, then you can do it this way. 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. You should be able to skip count by 5's. That's something you should already know how to do. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Same way down here. You should be able to go 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Now, I know that you haven't learned how to do your 6's yet unless you've worked ahead. So, what's 30 plus 6? It is 36. What is 36 plus 6? That's 42. What's 42 plus 6? That is 48. What is 48 plus 6? That's 54. Do the same thing over here. What's 36 plus 6? That's 42. Plus 6 more is 48. Plus 6 more is 54. 42 plus 7 is 49. 49 plus 7 is 56. Plus 7 more is 63. If you go down, that would be 56 and 63. 56 plus, how much am I adding? I'm adding 8. 56 plus 8 is 64. 64 plus 8 is 72. 64 plus 8 more is 72. And the only one that's really the odd man out is 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81. So you can notice quite a few patterns in this. But it says to look specifically at the green squares. What do you notice about the products? 7, 12, 15, 16, 15, 12, 7, 0. It goes up to 16 and back down to 0, from 0 to 16 and back down. Well, how does that help me? Do you have any more observations? I would say this is like a palindrome, with 16 being the middle. Write the multiplication sentence for the products on your multiplication board, math board. What do you notice about the factors? What do you notice? If you are just looking at these green ones, what do you notice? Will this be true in the yellow squares? If you look at the yellow, does it do the same thing? Because 0 times 6 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 0 is 0. So what is it really looking at? For me, what I would say is, for here, I would talk about the commutative property. Because it doesn't matter which way you multiply, zero times 8 is equal to 8 times 0. I would also talk about the identity property. Identity property and the zero property. Can these properties be used in the yellow? Yes. The zero property, the identity property, the commutative property. It doesn't matter. Write the products for the yellow squares. Complete the columns 1 through 5, 1, 5, and 6. Look across each row and compare the products. What do you notice? If you do 1, 5, and 6 and you look at them, what do you notice? What property does this show? And that concludes today's lesson.